For hundreds of years, the Galactic Council ignored the black space of Quadrant Zetanine. It had no stars, no planets, no life. It was called the Dead Zone. Nothing ever came from there until one day, something did. A scout ship, named Zolaris 3, was patrolling near the edge of Zetanine. Suddenly, its communication officer, LT Ferrick, picked up a strange signal. "Commander, I think." "We have something," he said. Commander Zeltar leaned forward. "Show me." The screen showed a repeating pattern. It was not natural. It was not random. It sounded like a kind of rhythm, like ... music. The commander frowned. "Where is it?" Coming from Ferrick, zoomed in. From deep inside the dead zone, exact center. Commander Zeltar paused, then gave the order, "Send a probe." The probe flew fast into the black space. At first, nothing happened. But then, the signal changed. It grew stronger, louder. After a few minutes, the probe came back. It was burned, twisted, melted in strange ways, but still working. The data inside shocked the crew. There was a recording. A ship. A massive ship floating in the dark, covered in black armor, almost invisible against space. It looked silent, dead. But then, one light blinked on Dr. Silly. The top alien scientist on board gasped when she saw the ship's structure. This is not normal tech. The armor is beyond anything we've seen. She scanned it more. Her face turned pale. This design matches records of Deathworld ships. The crew stared at her. "But the highest known Deathworld is Class 12, said Ferrari K. Dr. Silly nodded slowly. "Yes, but this one. This is from a Class 15 Deathworld." Silence filled the bridge. Class 15? Impossible. Class 12 Deathworlds were already nightmares, volcanoes, acid rain, gravity 10 times stronger than normal, giant beasts, violent storms, toxic air. A Class 15 world, it would be death in every form. No species could survive that. No one could even visit such a world and return alive. Yet here was a ship. Floating silently from that place, Commander Zeltar called for backup. The Council sent more ships, full investigation team. Soon, the black space was filled with lights. The unknown ship did not react. It just floated. The explorers moved closer and docked with the mysterious ship. The airlock was open. No defense systems activated, it felt like. It's an invitation. They entered the giant ship inside. It was quiet, cold, empty. Walls were thick and strange. Some areas were burned. Others were covered in marks like something powerful had tried to escape. As they moved through the ship, they found symbols on the walls, written in an old language. They scanned it, ran it through translators. Finally, a word appeared. Humanity. Everyone stopped. Fear spread through the team. "Humans," whispered a young soldier. "They were wiped out thousands of years ago." "Right?" Dr. Silly shook her head slowly. "I only think they were." She looked at the word again. This was proof the humans were not extinct. They had survived, and they had built a ship strong enough to drift alone in space for who knows how many years. Captain Zeltar turned to the team. "Search the ship. Find out if anything else is still alive." They went deeper, and what they found next would shake the galaxy forever. The alien team moved deeper into the giant human ship. They walked carefully, scanning every room, every corner. The lights inside the ship were still dim, but sometimes flickered on when someone stepped near. It was like the ship was watching them. "This place is not dead," whispered LT Ferrick. "It's just ... sleeping." They found rooms filled with strange machines, giant engines, walls with blinking red lights, screens showing maps of old stars that no longer existed. They entered a large control room. In the center was a glass pod. Inside, a man was sleeping, a human. The team froze. He looked alive, his face calm, no signs of aging. His body was wrapped in a strange suit with metal plates. On his chest, They saw words written in an ancient Earth language. Dr. Silly read the name slowly. Lieutenant Marcus Vale, Earth Naval Recon. Alpha Prime Fleet. Commander Zeltar stepped back in shock. That's military. Dr. Silly nodded. Yes, a very old Earth military. Ferric looked at the readings. He's still alive in deep cryosleep. No way, said one of the guards. This guy has been here for thousands of years. But it was true. The human had slept in silence while the galaxy changed, while civilizations rose and fell. His ship had floated through black space like a ghost. Now he was found. Some of the aliens wanted to leave him frozen. Others wanted to study him. A few wanted to destroy the ship before anything dangerous could wake up. But Commander Zeltar made the decision. Wake him, he said. But Sir Ferric began. Zeltar raised a hand. This ship is not attacking. He is not attacking. If we want to know the truth about humanity, we must talk to one. They started the reawakening process. The pod hissed. Steam rose. Lights blinked. A low alarm rang once. Then stopped. The human's fingers twitched. Then his eyes opened. They were blue, calm, a little confused at first. Then focused. He sat up slowly, looking around at all the alien faces. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then the human smiled. Well, this is new, he said. His voice was strong, confident, like someone who had seen war before and survived. Commander Zeltar stepped forward. I am Zeltar of the Varelian Council. Who are you? The human nodded once. Lieutenant Marcus Vale. Recon Unit, Earth Navy. Dr. Silly moved closer. Do you know how long you've been asleep? Marcus rubbed his eyes. Not really. Mission timer's probably fried. Last I checked, we were in year 3079. Ferric checked his tablet. That was over 4,000 years ago. Marcus blinked, then laughed. Guess I broke the record. The aliens didn't laugh. Zeltar spoke again. What was your mission? Marcus looked serious now. Classified. But I'll tell you this. Earth was dying. The core war destroyed most of our colonies. This ship was one of the last deep space scouts. Were you looking for help? Dr. Silly asked. No, Marcus said. Then what? Marcus stood up slowly. He looked around the control room, at the blinking lights, at the old Earth flag on the wall. I was looking for a new home, a place for humanity to rise again. Maybe, strike back. That last word echoed in the room. Strike back. Zeltar repeated. Marcus didn't answer. He walked to the control panel. The ship recognized his touch. Lights turned on. Systems came online. The aliens looked around in fear. The ship was not dead. It had just been waiting for its commander. To return, Lieutenant Marcus Vale stood tall on the control deck of his ancient warship. The alien team watched him carefully. No one moved. No one spoke. Then Marcus touched the screen in front of him. The ship responded. Lights turned on across the entire ship. Power flowed through its systems. Doors opened. Engines hummed in the background. The giant machine had awakened. Ferric stepped back nervously. He's turning the ship back on. Marcus turned to them. Relax. If I wanted to destroy you, you'd already be gone. His voice was calm, but every word felt like a warning. Commander Zeltar raised his hand. We are not your enemies. We came to understand. Marcus nodded slowly. Good, because the last enemies we had didn't survive. He walked around the control deck like a man returning home. The ship responded to him like an old friend. Every panel lit up when he passed. Every system obeyed his voice. Dr. Silly looked around in amazement. This ship is alive. It's called Reckoner, Marcus said. She's not just a ship. She's a weapon. Silly stared at the walls. These engines. I've never seen anything like them. Marcus smiled, not surprised. Humanity built things no one else dared to. Commander Zeltar spoke again. What happened to your people? Marcus stopped walking. The smile faded. They fought too many wars, he said quietly. Against each other, against nature, against the galaxy. In the end, Earth was breaking. We had to leave. Some ships went looking for peace. Others, like mine, ... Went looking for something else? Furyk asked. And what were you looking for? Marcus looked out the large window, into the stars. A place strong enough to start again. Silence filled the room. Dr. Silly looked at him closely.
Whoa, do you
know what the Galactic Council thinks of humans? Marcus laughed softly. Let me guess. Dangerous, violent, extinct. Yes, Marcus said. 2 of those things are still true. Everyone stared. The ship's sensors suddenly picked up movement outside. Marcus tapped a screen. You brought a whole fleet with you. Commander Zeltar nodded, for safety. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Yours or mine? It's the alien crew. Didn't answer. Marcus looked serious now. You found something you weren't ready for, a ghost from your nightmares. Now you're trying to decide if you should kill it. Or listen to it. Zeltar said. We want to understand, do not want war. Marcus turned to face him. Neither do I, but war has a way of finding humans. He walked to another screen and brought up star maps. Old ones. From 4,000 years ago, some stars were gone now, as others had changed. We were planning to return one day, Marcus said. With more ships, more soldiers, but it never happened. Maybe I'm the last. Dr. Silly stepped forward. Then help us understand. Teach us what humanity was, what it wanted. Marcus looked at her for a long moment, and then he smiled. All right, he said. Lesson 1. Never wake a sleeping human warship unless you're ready for what comes next. He sat down in the captain's chair. The ship responded instantly. Missile bays unlocked shield systems. Powered on. A silent alarm was triggered. All over the ship. Lights blinked in patterns the aliens couldn't read. Commander Zeltar looked. Worried? What are you doing? Marcus looked up, his eyes calm. I'm making sure the Reckoner still remembers how to fight. The alien fleet floated around the ancient human warship like silent watchers. Their scanners were active, their weapons ready, but none dared fire. Inside the Reckoner, tension filled the air. Marcus Vale sat in the captain's chair, hands on the controls. The ship's systems were fully awake now. The engine cores were humming, defense shields were at full strength. And the weapons were online. Commander Zeltar stepped forward slowly. Lieutenant Vale, I ask again, what is your goal? Marcus turned his head slightly. My goal? Survival. Maybe a little respect for my species. We didn't come to fight. Zeltar said, Good, Marcus replied. Because you'd lose. His words were not a threat. They were just the truth. The Reckoner had been built for one purpose, to survive anything and destroy everything. Dr. Silly spoke next. Why power up the weapons if you don't plan to use them? Marcus looked at her, because in space, power is language. Speak softly, you get ignored. You roar. ... The galaxy listens. Furyk tapped his scanner nervously. Commander, our fleet is detecting internal heat surges in the human ship. It's preparing for launch. Marcus stood up. The Reckoner has been sleeping long enough. She needs to move. Commander Zeltar frowned. You're leaving? I'm not going far, Marcus said. But I can't sit in this dead zone while you decide if I'm a threat or not. He walked toward the main panel and tapped a few buttons. A countdown appeared on the screen. 0 hours, 2 minutes, and 0 seconds. You have 2 minutes, Marcus said. If your people want peace, then follow. If they want war, stay here. Where will you go? Dr. Silly asked. Marcus looked up at the stars. Left of my kind, and maybe to remind the galaxy what we were. The alien team watched as the massive engines on the Reckoner powered up. The sound was low at first, then grew into a deep rumble that shook the alien ship docked to it. Open to come to his fleet. Stand down. Do not attack. But Commander, came a reply from the fleet captain. He's activating an ancient warship. We don't know what it can do. We know enough, Zeltar said. If we attack, we all die.
Back on the reckoner.
Marcus returned to his seat. The final seconds ticked down. 3, 2, 1. The engines roared. The reckoner tore through the black space like a beast unchained. Its black armor shimmered. Shockwaves echoed through nearby ships. The alien docking clamps were forced to detach or be ripped apart. Marcus flew through the dead zone, heading toward a star system long forgotten, once mapped by humans as Colony Eco 7. Dr. Silly and the rest were left behind in their smaller ship, watching. Ferric stared at the radar. "Commander, he's gone, and we couldn't stop him." Zeltar didn't answer at first. Then he said, "We just witnessed history." Dr. Silly turned. "We need to follow him." Ferric looked surprised. "Why?" he said. "If we followed, it might mean war." Silly shook her head. "No, he gave us a chance. A door to the past. You have to understand what made humanity so feared. And so powerful." Zeltar gave a slow nod. "Prepare the ship. We follow Bud at a distance. No weapons. No threats." As their ship turned and followed the fading signal of the Reckoner, one thing was clear to them all. Humanity was not dead. It was awakening. The Reckoner flew like a ghost through forgotten star lanes. Behind it, the alien ship followed at a safe distance. Inside, Commander Zeltar and Dr. Silly watched silently as Marcus Vale's warship led the way. "Colony Eco 7, Silly said softly. It was marked destroyed in the Core War records. No survivors. "But he's going there," Zeltar replied. "That means something." On the Reckoner, Marcus stared at the map. He remembered this place. It had once been a small but strong human colony, covered in forests, mountains, and clean air. It was built by survivors, defended by soldiers, and powered by hope. He had not seen it in over 4,000 years now. As the ship neared the system, scanners picked up strange signs, energy pulses, hidden signals, movement on the surface. Marcus smiled. They hadn't died. He opened a private channel and whispered a code into the microphone. "Project Haven. Code Vale Alpha 0. The ship responded. A secure message blinked on the screen. "Welcome home." Below them, the planet lit up just a little. Cloaked satellites came online. Defense grids powered up. Hidden bunkers opened. It was not a dead colony. It was a survival vault. Marcus turned the Reckoner toward a landing site. Down below, humans. Prepared men and women in armor stood tall. Drones flew. Turrets moved. Then someone stepped out of a bunker. An older woman with gray hair and a robotic arm. "Is that really him?" she asked. A soldier beside her nodded. "Yes, ma'am." "Match, it's Marcus Vale." The woman smiled. "Then it's time." As Marcus landed the ship, the alien vessel remained in orbit. Dr. Silly stared at the sensors. "There's life down there," she said. 4REK gasped. "That's not possible." All records said Eco 7 was wiped out. Zeltar nodded slowly. Then the records were wrong. Humanity survived in silence. Back on the planet, Marcus stepped out of the ship. The air was cool. The sky above was gray-blue. Birds flew overhead. Trees rustled in the wind. He took a deep breath. It was still home. The older woman walked toward him. She saluted. "Commander." "Alina Voss, Defense Chief of Haven Base." Marcus nodded. "Lieutenant Marcus Vale. Recon, Earth Navy. ... Long overdue." She chuckled. "Just in time, I'd say." "We've been waiting." "Still following the plan?" he asked. "Yes, Colony." Eco 7 remained hidden. "We grew slowly, taught our children, waited for a signal." She looked at the sky, "And now you're here." Marcus looked at the people gathering, soldiers, engineers, children, real humans. "I thought I might be the last." "You said you're..." "The first to return," Alina replied. Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien crew was in shock. "They're rebuilding," Ferric said. "This isn't just a survivor camp. It's a military base." Dr. Seeley leaned forward. "It's more than that. It's a seed. A seed of a lost empire, ready to grow again." Zeltar stood quietly. He had seen many species in his life, but never one that came back from extinction like this. "Should we contact them?" Ferric asked. Silly looked at him. "Not yet. Let them show us what they've become." Back on the ground, Marcus walked through the base. People saluted him. Some cried. Others just stared, amazed that a soldier from ancient Earth had come home. Alina walked beside him. We've kept the stories alive, trained every generation. The galaxy forgot us. It was our greatest weapon. Marcus looked up at the sky. They'll remember soon. She nodded. Are you ready? Marcus smiled. I've been ready for 4,000 years. Eco 7 was no longer just a hidden human colony, it had become a spark, ready to light a fire across the stars. Marcus Vale stood at the center of Haven Base, looking at old maps and new plans. Round him, human officers reported activity. Supply. Drones are active. Communications reconnected with Subcolony Theta. New recruits reached 300 this week, ready for small-scale operations. But it wasn't just human eyes watching now. High above, the alien vessels still orbited the planet. Commander Zeltar and Dr. Silly observed the human base carefully. They've rebuilt much, Zeltar said quietly, in silence, in shadows. Ferric shook his head. How did no one know? All our sensors, all our records, said this colony was gone, Dr. Silly replied. Because they wanted to be forgotten. The moment Marcus reactivated Reckoner, signals had rippled through deep space. Ancient satellites hidden by humanity began to broadcast. Old beacons blinked back to life. And in far corners of the galaxy, others noticed in a cold system ruled by the insectoid Cathar. Commander watched the ancient signal. Human code, he hissed. They were extinct. Voice behind him answered, Perhaps not. In a hidden vault of the Galactic Council, the warning lights turned red. A silent alarm activated a signal that had not gone off in 4,000 years. Codename, Project. Reckoner returned. Counselors gathered. Alien leaders from all over the galaxy met in secret. A tall, reptilian speaker spoke in fear. If the humans return, we may face extinction. Another, a machine being, said, We agreed to erase them. Now they return. Stronger. A third counselor, from the Ariac species, stood up. Then we must destroy them before they rise again. Back on Eco 7, Marcus sat with Commander Alina. Vossen reviewed data. They both knew what was coming. They'll see the signals, she said. They already have, Marcus replied. You think they'll attack first? They'll always do. Suddenly alarms rang inside Haven Base. An officer shouted, Unidentified ships entering system. Multiple signatures. Marcus stood up fast. Put it on screen. In orbit, 5 alien warships had arrived, heavy vessels from the Ariac species. No warning, no communication. Just guns. On the alien scout ship still orbiting, Ferric stared. In shock? Those are Council-class warships? Why are they here? Zeltar narrowed his eyes. They came to silence the past. Marcus activated Reckoner's defenses. All stations, battle ready. Shields up. Power to railguns. Target anything that charges weapons. Alina called out. Civilians, to bunkers, drones to sky. In moments, Eco 7 transformed from a colony into a fortress, from orbit. The Ariac ship sent one message, surrender. The human ship in base, or be destroyed. Marcus responded with one word, no, and everything exploded into action. The sky lit up with missiles and energy blasts. Reckoner rose again, flying into battle like a black spear. Its old guns fired with deadly precision. Tearing through the first Ariac ship, human drone fighters swarmed the sky, attacking fast and without fear. On the ground, Eco 7's turrets fired at dropships. The Ariac had come to erase a memory, but instead, they awakened a war machine. Within minutes, 2 of their ships were destroyed. The other 3 turned to escape, but Reckoner followed, in the alien scout ship. Ferric said, They're winning. How is this possible? Dr. Silly answered, eyes wide. Because this isn't the start of a war. This is the return of a warrior race. Commander Zeltar gave the order. Send word to the Council. Humanity is not extinct. He paused. Are back. The battle over Eco 7 had changed everything. The alien warships meant to destroy the human base were gone. The Reckoner had torn them apart like paper. Human drones flew in perfect formation, guarding the planet below. Inside the Council hall, chaos ruled. Leaders of over 50 alien species shouted and argued. The humans were dead. No just hiding, they cannot be allowed to rise again. They already have. At the center of the room, the Ariak ambassador stood silent. His forces had failed. His face showed fear for the first time. A voice cut through the noise. They beat us. With one ship and one forgotten colony. What happens when more wake up? The council fell silent. No one had an answer. Back on Eco 7, Marcus Vale stood before a crowd of humans. Soldiers, workers, children all gathered in the main square of Haven Base. Alina Voss spoke first. We were told to wait. To hide, to survive, and now the wait is over. Cheers filled the air. Marcus stepped forward. I was frozen for 4,000 years, he said. I woke up thinking we had lost, that our people were gone, but I was wrong. He looked around. The sky was clear. Human banners flew again. You kept going, quietly, carefully, and now you rise again. Behind him, the Reckoner stood tall like a black mountain, its armor still glowing from the battle. Dr. Silly and Commander Zeltar stood at the edge of the crowd, watching. They were guests, now witnesses to something historic. They don't fear death, Silly whispered. They welcome it if it protects their own. Zeltar nodded. I understand why no species dared cross them in the past. Will the council attack again? She asked. He looked at the sky. Maybe. But if they do, they'll lose more than ships. That same day, human satellites sent a message across the stars. Not a threat, not a challenge. It's a simple declaration. Humanity has returned. We remember. The message echoed through all systems. In every galactic language, on distant planets, some feared, some cheered in secret places. Other humans who had survived in hiding saw the signal and smiled. A young boy on a jungle world stared at the sky and asked his mother, Is that where we're from? She nodded. Yes, that's home. An old soldier in a hidden bunker cleaned his rifle. Took them long enough. Ships moved. Old bases came online. Human codes woke machines that had been asleep for centuries. The galaxy began to feel it. The return of the apex predator on Eco 7. Marcus sat with Alina, Silly, and Zeltar in a quiet meeting room. We don't want war, Marcus said. We won't run again, Alina nodded. We protect our people. That's the rule. Zeltar spoke slowly. Then what is your goal? Marcus looked at the star map on the screen. Hundreds of human colonies, lost, destroyed, or hidden, blinked. As question marks, we find our people. We rebuild. And we remind the stars. He pressed a button. The Reckoner powered up behind them, glowing blue. Why humanity was once feared? No more hiding, no more waiting. Humanity was back-end. This time they were watching everyone. And across the stars, the old warning whispered again from one system to another. If you see a human warship, run.